Beef jerky time.
Hello and welcome to Food to Watch Films by Episode 6.
Episode 6.
Yes.
Here already.
6. The number 6 sounds like a Twix.
It does, Johnny.
Yeah.
It's
The two-fingered chocolate and caramel biscuit bar.
yeah,
But
familiar with it.
Yeah, I suppose, I like a Twix, but I suppose instead of the two chocolatey fingers, you're getting two hosts. You've got me, Johnny.
And me, Adam.
Yeah, and rather than receiving that Twix in your mouth, instead we're going to be adding flavour to your ear holes.
Yep, you'll be receiving us in your ears, which is just as delightful, I suppose. So yeah.
Like a smooth Lionel Richie, chocolatey caramel flow.
That is probably the best description I've heard of this podcast. It's spot on.
Yeah. So if you're suitably confused right now, say you've never listened to this podcast before, basically we talk about films we've watched and recommend foods that we think would help enhance your viewing experience of that film, so you can smell, taste that film. Sometimes those recommendations might not be necessarily legal, ethical, or particularly good for you. So make sure you probably speak to your parent or a health professional before you indulge.
Yeah, or counsellor, therapist.
Yeah.
We're assuming our main demographic will probably require that type of attention. So yeah.
Yes, you're probably a special kind of person. So anyway, so this episode, the theme is money.
Money.
Money, more money. Yeah, so I mean, money. I mean, if you had to spend an exuberant amount of money in a short space of time, Adam, what do you think you'd spend it on?
Yeah, well, I always feel like if I was faced with that situation, I would do something, quite honourable, like give the majority of it to charity. Basically be
whatever.
like Bob Geldof. But
you want to be Bob Geldof?
I retract that statement immediately.
Yes,
but
who are you?
Just give. But
just give.
I just want to give.
Okay.
But to be honest, I'd probably just spend it on trying to be like a real life superhero, like Batman or something.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'd really do any of the superhero stuff like saving people.
Yeah, I can't really imagine you as a particularly good superhero, to be honest.
It's kind of dangerous, like fighting crime. It takes a lot of dedication, training.
Yeah.
I can't be arsed with that. I can't be bothered with that.
Fair play.
I just want the cool outfit and the car.
Yeah. Well,
and
don't
Alfred.
And an Alfred.
That's all I want in life.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd probably waste it on trying to basically build a Batcave.
Well, I think I'd probably make more of a worthy investment, and I was thinking about this the other day. Actually, I always thought it'd be quite funny to, if I had the money, basically redesign my house and make it exactly the same as my neighbour's house opposite in every single way, just to freak them out.
Would you start wearing the same clothes as your neighbour as well?
Yeah. So I'd be like looking out the window, waiting for them to come out, and then I would come out as well. But everything would be slightly reversed, so I'd even have the same car, but the number plate the other way. So it'd be like they were looking at some sort of weird mirror image. Just to mess with their heads, and then after a couple of weeks after the joke had died a bit, I'd just pay for it all, be reversed and put back to normal, and probably never say anything to them about it.
Just like it was a really bad dream.
Yeah,
never acknowledge it. That is. Do you have some sort of vendetta against your neighbour?
No, not really. I just thought it'd be kind of entertaining, I just wondered if anyone had ever done that. I'm sure people have kind of copied each other to a certain extent, but maybe to that degree, possibly not.
No, I think you're unique in that respect, to be fair, Johnny. So
you wouldn't see Bob Geldof doing that, would you?
Yeah. Maybe I'll do that to Bob Geldof.
Yeah.
Part of my plan to become Bob.
Yeah.
Becoming Bob.
Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, so hello. I've just spied you've got another beer.
Oh, John, you are observant. Yeah, we've got another beer. Today, we're going for the not just another IPA.
Not with a K.
Not with a K. See what I did
it's
there?
a bird.
Play on words. It's from the brewery is Jodie's Norfolk Ale.
Is that Josie? Like, remember? What was his name? Kid Rock. He had that little mate, Josie.
Whatever happened to him?
I think he died.
I was going to say, did he die?
But maybe that was just a ruse, and he's now brewing beer in
Norfolk. Yeah.
Stranger things have happened.
It probably, maybe that's what it is. So yeah, Josie's Brewery, free plug for you there. Let's get this cracked open.
So yeah, and that means you do need to give us beer.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Yeah, but basically, you've got no say in whether we plug this or not. It's getting plugged, and you need to give us beer as payment.
The only reason we started this podcast is so we could
get free stuff,
scrounge free beer. My main target in life is to sell out as much as possible. So
and then that's appropriate with our theme of money.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a nice link there, Johnny. Cheers, pal.
Cheers.
Right. What are you getting from that one?
Ooh,
that's nice, actually.
Yes, quite kind of caramelly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's quite sweet.
It is. It's got a sweet taste to it. It's good. It's a little bit hoppy, but not too hoppy.
Yeah.
This podcast is slowly turned into a beer review podcast. But no, I like that one. It's a good one. It's nice. It's light as well. It's nice summertime kind of ale. You could have it with barbecue. It's pretty good.
So certainly is not just another IPA. Well, it is an IPA. And it is another IPA.
Yeah. False advertising, Josie.
Anyway, shall we get to Adam's top 5? Cause this is Adam's top 10. I mean 5.
Right, yeah, so this episode, as we've mentioned, is we've got a bit of a money theme. So, we're going to be talking about movies which have a general, the core theme is around money, whether that's, finance, greed, all the bits that come into it. One of the issues, I suppose, with this type of theme is that the pool of movies that we can draw from is huge, because films that are based in the real world, inevitably at some stage finances or something along those lines comes into play.
Well, money comes into anything, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, any gangster film, the motivation is around money. Like heist films, hostage films, it's a core theme. So what I wanted to do is really kind of narrow it down a little bit and keep the top 5 to films that are really the central theme is solidly finances. It's not really. It's almost as close to as damn it a genre in itself being money.
So just to clarify, it's not going to be films where they just happen to carry out a transaction like buying something in a shop.
Yeah, they've not just gone to a cash machine or an ATM if you're in America. No, it's it's so that the films like Coming to America, for example. Awesome film. Haven't really put it in this category. It's more of a kind of fish out of water comedy.
Fantastic comedy.
Casino, awesome film. Again, all around money, Las Vegas gambling, but really at the heart of it is a gangster film as well. So yeah, I mean that's what I tried to look at. So there's a few honourable mentions.
Were they not just honourable mentions? Or?
No, they were honourable mentions.
Of honourable mentions?
Of honourable mentions.
Are they like honourable mentions?
They're a subcategory of the honourable mentions.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. Anyway, so we've got honourable mentions at Citizen Kane. That's a big one. That's kind of, wealth, society. Yeah, we'll include that in there.
Yep.
Honourable mention to Brewster's Millions.
Yes.
Richard Pryor, John Candy. And I think that's a good thing about this as well. With the theme of money, It's a good topic to lead into comedies. It's a good topic to lead into, thrillers in particular. There's a lot of thrillers. So anyway, a couple of honourable mentions there. I'm keeping it brief in this episode.
Please.
Let's get into top 5. So in at number 5.
Number 5.
At number 5, I've gone for an out comedy, and I've gone for Trading Places.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd, both the pinnacle of the careers at that stage.
Perfect comedy duo for it, really.
Play off really well with each other. There's, Jamie Lee Curtis gets them out. You do see full frontal nudity of Jamie Lee Curtis. So that's why it made it into his top 5.
So watch it.
Yeah, exactly. Tell you what, impressed. I was impressed.
Yeah.
Didn't expect that. In at number 4.
Number 4.
Quite a well-known one here. Gone for Wall Street.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
good.
it'd be hard not to have it in the top 5, I guess. It's
Exactly. I mean, it's a good suspenseful movie. Again, some great performances. Charlie Sheen before he went mental off tiger blood, or whatever he said he had in his veins. Aside from
winning,
copious amounts of cocaine, and But this is it's a period where he truly was winning. But Wall Street, number 4. Number 3.
Number 3.
A film that I've only watched fairly recently, but absolutely loved. The Big Short.
The Big Short.
Yeah.
It's big, but it's short.
It's confusing.
Is it like a short, big film?
It is. Yeah.
Is it like big,
but shorter?
But short.
Yeah, exactly.
So like rather than him growing up, he gets. I don't know.
It's like Tom Hanks' Big, but condensed into half an hour.
Oh, okay.
So The Big Short.
That totally clears it up.
There we go.
Carry on.
The Big Short, though, great movie. Obviously, it got a lot of attention at the Oscars recently. It tackles a very complicated subject around the crashing of the housing market and the financial bubble around that. Things that make my head hurt, but to try and understand.
Does it mean?
But I was able to. If it got me to sit through and keep track of the movie and what they were talking about, then if it can get through to an idiot like me, then it did its job very well. Some great performances in there as well. Steve Carell, I thought, was absolutely great in that. Number 2.
Numero 2.
This could very easily be in at number 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, why isn't it?
Well, because there was one that just... I did debate. I had a huge debate over this.
Did you?
Huge debate over it.
I don't want to know anything about your huge debate.
Well, this... I'm going to read you, before I even say the name of the film, you might be able to guess what it is.
Okay.
But I'm going to read out some of the cast here. Al Pacino.
Okay.
Jack Lemmon. Alec Baldwin. Alan Arkin. Ed Harris. Kevin Spacey. Jonathan Pryce. It's a pretty solid lineup.
Yep.
There. And every single one of them come out with a solid performance. So I've gone for Glengarry Glen Ross.
Glengarry Glen Ross.
ABC always be closing. One of the most famous scenes, it's Alec Baldwin giving his motivational, terrifyingly motivational speech, which kind of just in that one scene kind of gets to really the heart of how much of a cutthroat culture this kind of sales environment is that they're in. Weird thing, throughout the entire film, I think I'm right in saying this anyway, I don't think there's a single woman in the film.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know if there's any other film where there's no female.
Not even like even extras, people in the background.
Well, Jack Lemmon's character Shelley, he's the kind of older salesman who's kind of failing, and he's the only one who has any connection to a woman.
Oh, right.
He's on the phone every now and again to his wife, and he's probably the one who's portrayed as the weakest as well in that. So it's a great film. The writing's fantastic. The dialogue, it's filmed within an office and a restaurant. There's not a lot of variation of scenes and shots, but what holds it together is fantastic performances and an awesome script as well from David Mamet. So brilliant.
Just without women.
Well, it's one of those as well that it started off as a play, started life as a play, and still doing the the circuit on a regular basis as well. So that's number 2.
Yes.
Now number 1. I think it's a recent film, one of the best films I've seen in a long time, and I've gone for Wolf of Wall Street. I think it is certainly DiCaprio's best performance. We did an episode, the Oscars themed episode, a few episodes back.
Oh, did we? I don't remember.
Cast your mind back.
Cast your mind back.
So many things have happened since then.
Can't remember what happened last week. Anyway, carry on.
But yeah, I mean, we talked about Leonardo DiCaprio finally getting recognition from the Oscars. I think this is a much stronger performance than The Revenant. It was good in The Revenant, but I think these, so much of the film hinges on his performance in this. And it's great. And again, it's a film that has a great balance of both humour, action, and suspense as well. So that is my number 1, Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, right. No, I'm kind of surprised. I thought it was okay. I felt like I'd kind of seen it before. I don't know. There was something quite a bit Martin Scorsese generic about it.
The whole talking to camera type of thing.
Maybe I need to give it another watch. But anyway,
I'd certainly. I'd encourage you to, because I think it's great. But yeah, I mean, it is a little bit polarising. It's not for everyone, and it is. Yeah, I think it is. You can get a thing of it of being more like kind of Goodfellas meets Boiler Room, which again should have really probably had an honourable mention, Boiler Room, because that's a good film.
Right. Okay, fantastic. Well, yes, thanks for that. Another Adam's Top 5, but this time money. So if you agree or disagree with Adam's Top 5, feel free to tweet us at FTWFB Podcast, or hit us up on Facebook, or on our email address that we can never remember. But yeah, shall we move on?
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're on to our first film and food recommendation, and this one, it's a bit of an older film. It's from 1983. It's called Easy Money, and not to be confused with another film called Easy Money from 2010, I think it is.
Those are completely different.
Yeah, very different.
In every respect.
Yeah. This is, a comedy starring Rodney Dangerfield and Joe Pesci.
Dangerfield. That's my Rodney Dangerfield impression. Not the only one who can do impressions, Johnny. Pull it out of the bag every now and again.
So directed by James Signorelli. It's a very sort of New York film. It's got quite a New York vibe. But yeah, basically it stars Rodney Dangerfield as Monty Capoletti, and the premise of the film, he's a father, his daughter's getting married. He lives quite an indulgent, slobbish lifestyle. He likes to drink, he likes to eat unhealthy food, he likes to toke a bit of hash. He's got his little Roach hotel tucked away in the bathroom cabinet.
He likes to come out with very inappropriate comments at children's birthday parties. In the opening scene, the opening gag is basically Rodney Dangerfield borderline chatting up a 6-year-old girl.
Yes.
It's
Operation
Yewtree should be.
He implies to her, come knocking on his door when she's a little bit older. So, at least he's considering age, and that he shouldn't bother her until she's of age. Still a bit creepy,
exactly
though.
I mean, he does say that he'll give her a call when she's 20. So it could be deemed as grooming. He's playing a long game there. He's got another 14 years to wait. But the type of thing that you probably couldn't get away with these days.
So a lot of gags like that, which Rodney Dangerfield was known for. But anyway, just to finish the sort of synopsis, his mother-in-law, who he doesn't get on with at all, dies in a tragic accident, and he soon finds out that she's in a will. She's leaving him to inherit her business and a fortune, on one condition, that he needs to give up all his hard living, his gambling, his unhealthy eating, what have you, and straighten himself out.
Yeah.
And he has, I can't remember, he's got a certain length of time in which he needs to do that.
I think it's only like, is it only like...
I don't know, it goes quite quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it's like literally a month or something like that.
Yeah, and he seems to do it quite easily, I think, as well. Like...
Yeah, the thing is with this film is that Johnny's just giving you, the basis of the film, the basis of the plot. Yeah. It takes nearly an hour for the film to actually get to that central theme until it's just it's a confused film at times. I think it's I mean, I haven't seen too much with Rodney Dangerfield. I've been aware of him for quite a while. I knew him mostly from Natural Born Killers as the dad. Yeah, Caddyshack.
And I've seen the odd brief sort of clip of his stand-up.
I like it. Stand-up. It's very old school.
But wasn't he on an episode of The Simpsons as well or something as himself? But yeah. But so there's a lot of one-liners, gags, but delivered really well. Like this is him at his height. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good... Yeah, it wasn't the best film, but I enjoyed it.
There were a few laughs in there. I got a sense... And by the way, the cast in this is actually... it's a really strong cast. Rodney Dangerfield stars in it, but he also writes it, which I'm a big fan of, comedians getting a chance to, get that involvement in the script writing side of thing. Joe Pesci, I mean, Joe Pesci, there's a few scenes where he looks like he's trying really hard not to burst out laughing. I kind of got the sense like the cast probably had, probably had more fun filming it than I did watching it. I'm not sure if like some of the humor. I think when you look films that came around with again money sort of based themes, comedies that came out around the same time. You've got either side of this movie. You've got Brewster's Millions and you've got Trading Places. I think the reason why I felt that those films worked and this didn't work was I think the scripts were tighter, but I also felt like there were two characters playing off each other quite well in both of those films. You've got
that dynamic.
You've got John Candy being the additional comic relief alongside Richard Pryor, and then you've got in Trading Places Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy playing off each other. You've got two the ingredients were there for it with Rodney Dangerfield and Joe Pesci, but it didn't really. I don't know. I just think I didn't get a feeling like.
Although Rodney Dangerfield, it's him, it's that character. It'd be kind of hard, I think, to kind of balance that with another big character. I don't think it would really work because he's created that character and that's what it is. Joe Pesci was there to be his kind of mate, and I thought Joe Pesci was good. He was good as a supporting actor, but he was never going to be. He's not a comedian on that level.
No. I mean, he's been in film, in comedies before, hasn't he? It was kind of a comic relief in Lethal Weapon films. It was in what's that film called? Gone Fishing. Him and Danny Glover. I don't know if you've seen that.
Danny Glover.
Out and out comedy. But it's I feel like it had a lot of the right ingredients. Young Jennifer Jason Leigh as well. So good cast. Good, director wise. I think the director has mainly done things like Saturday Night Live, hadn't they? So not mainly being steeped in movies, but still comedy background. But it just didn't work for me. It just seemed pretty sort of drawn out. It seemed too long. I kept losing interest, and there were too few gags for my liking.
No, I feel totally opposite. It didn't feel long or drawn out at all for me. In fact, it just felt like the right length, really. But yeah, I think it's maybe a particular type of humour that some people either like or they don't like. I enjoyed it for what it was, I think. But yeah, no, worth a watch, I'd say.
Yeah, I think I really wanted to like it because I quite like Rodney Dangerfield, and I thought the premise was quite strong. But yeah, it didn't have me, pissing myself laughing.
No, fair play. Yeah. Well, shall we get on to the food?
Yeah, let's do
the food
that.
recommendation.
Let's have a look. So, do you want to go first, Johnny?
Oh, yeah, why not? Well, yeah, so something that really stood out for me in this is there's a lot of good hair or interesting hairstyles. Like Joe Pesci's hair is amazing. He looks a bit kind of like a greaser, he looks like someone from Greece or something. He's got that big really combed quiff.
Yeah, it looks like proper Jersey boy. So yeah.
And even Rodney Dangerfield's hair is a bit he's got those curls, but the hair that really did it for me was Julio, this Hispanic fiance of Rodney Dangerfield's daughter. And becomes husband. His hair, it's amazing. That shiny black sleek hair and that little
pencil
slug-like mustache. So that really got me. So I was kind of thinking you could I've got kind of two choices depending if you're going for sweet or savoury. You could go for some, so for the sweet option, some of those licorice laces, a bit like, strands of shiny hair, that you could indulge in. Or the savoury option, more of a squid ink linguine. And I thought in a way actually
decadent.
Yeah, that could be, because obviously Monty Capoletti, he's not really won over by Julio. He's kind of a bit, how can we say, he's not mad keen on him, is he? So
yeah, I mean Julio's a bit of a strange character.
He's a bit of a douche.
Yeah, because he's a bit at the end of it. He kind of redeems himself a little bit, and he becomes probably one of the most likable characters in it, and you are rooting for him a little bit. He's trying to.
I do really like that scene actually, where it's kind of Romeo and Juliet. Like the where he's shouting up at the window. Yeah, I thought that was really good actually.
Yeah, exactly. But he was. But through a lot of it, it just came across as a little bit creepy. The whole wedding, the wedding night scene,
that was
uncomfortable to watch. You were about to see.
He wanted it, didn't he?
Oh, he wanted it. He was, and he was going to give it to her. But she had
silky black locks.
She wasn't quite ready. But yeah.
So I suppose the squid ink linguine, it was a way of trying to win Monty Capoletti over by giving him an Italian American, likes pasta. Mix it with a bit of Julio style hair, and there you have it.
There you go.
So, what about yourself?
No, sounds good. I've gone with this one. I've gone for a gourmet hot dog.
Ooh, gourmet hot dog.
Gourmet hot dog, and these come in many shapes and sizes and forms. Gourmet hot dogs,
and they usually just long.
Well, you'd think that, wouldn't you? But they can. I've YouTubed gourmet hot dogs, and there were loads of things like gourmet hot dog competitions and like really fancy variations of hot dogs. So I'm thinking like a gourmet hot dog. We'll throw really sort of affluent food in there, so caviar, lobster, some truffle shavings on top.
Bloody hell!
But the thing is, when you look at gourmet hot dogs, at the end of it, you can pile on all this stuff to make it look fancy and expensive. But when you get below all that at the surface,
it's just a hot dog.
It's a hot dog.
So it's just a sodding hot dog.
It's just hot dog. It's just street meat.
Street meat.
and I felt like that kind of represents Rodney Dangerfield's character in this.
You can jazz him up.
Yeah, you can jazz him up. He gets thrown into this world of money, and but at the heart of it, as with the ending of this film, he's never going to change. He's always going to be that same old hot dog.
Yeah.
So yeah, gourmet hot dog.
No. Well, there's a decent place in Leeds actually. I don't know if you've ever been. Primo's hot dogs. So Corn Exchange.
Primos, you now have to send us free hot dogs.
Free hot dogs, please. But they're kind of gourmet, and you sometimes get different. But sorry, something that's just dawned on me is we've completely forgotten to mention the appearance of Jeffrey Jones in this.
We've tried to avoid mentioning it.
There's a Clive Barlow, which doesn't suit well with what we were saying about the opening lines of the film.
Jeffrey Jones, if you're not aware, actor who's been in throughout the 80s, really strong career. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, being probably the thing that is most well known for being the headmaster in that. Also known for being a registered sex offender. That's not speculation. It's fact. That is fact. That is in writing. He is a registered sex offender.
Yeah, which kind of adds to the almost like the creepiness of this character Clive. The bit of the he's a bit
exactly. Kind of knowing that history about him is pretty unnerving.
So when you see him in his coloured, suits in this, you just think.
You think?
No,
Was
you
that
don't think,
satisfying? Or you think, yeah, he wears that well.
Yeah.
He wears that well. Those kids aren't going to be able to resist that suit.
Yep, I'll see him as some sort of colourful lollipop.
Oh, right. This is why I tried to avoid the conversation around Jeffrey Jones. We'll rise above that.
So that's another food recommendation: a colourful lollipop
to be sucked on. Shall we move on?
So that's to wrap it up, you can have yourself some licorice laces or some squid ink linguine, or a gourmet hot dog if you're feeling particularly kinky, or to some a colourful lollipop. So yeah, easy money. There it is. Check it out.
There you go.
Let's move on. Okay, so it's that point in the podcast again where we've got another one of our listeners join us for a few games, a few fun and frolics. So, shall we welcome in this listener, Adam?
Yes, yeah.
So, listener, what's your name and where are you from?
I'm Martin. I'm from Leeds. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Martin.
Leeds. Wow.
From Leeds, sunny Leeds.
That's a bit creepy, considering we are also in Leeds.
That's weird, isn't it? Small world.
I'm not stalking. It's fine.
Are you outside our window now?
I think that's just Pablo.
That's Pablo lurking in the bushes again.
Yes,
Creeping.
Oh well, common stomping ground. That's always good to hear. So yeah, we've invited you on, and the theme of this month's podcast is money, wealth. Money.
Yeah.
And Adam, I think you've got a question for Martin.
Yeah, Martin. What we wanted to do is kind of pose a bit of a Brewster's Millions kind of scenario. So you can imagine yourself being Richard Pryor for a day, and I'm sure you've got a lot in common with Richard Pryor. Now, we're going to give you £10 million. Which sounds awesome. No,
Thank you.
there is a
That's
catch.
nice.
There is a catch, though. We've also got £100 million to give you. Now, in order to get that 100 million, you need to spend 10 million within 24 hours. How would you do it?
Okay.
How would you approach this?
Are you still awake after that, by the way? Because that was
It was a labour
that was the most long drawn out thing I think I've ever heard. But anyway, sorry.
If I were
I've listened to the podcast before, guys. I know Adam takes a long time to get to his point. So.
Yeah. So.
Just so I'm aware, the rules. I'd agree with the rules. If it's same as Bruce's, I can only do a small amount on gambling and the likes, because otherwise you could just go and put it all on a horse race or something.
True.
There we go. Right. So if I'm honest, I'd probably put about 5 million. I think about 5 million into a film company just to get beef. Yeah, ever got something that a passion of mine, maybe like V for Vendetta 2, a nice sequel, something like that, Pulp Fiction 2, something along those lines.
Yeah, right.
About 5 million into that, 4 million or so. I don't know. I mean, I'd probably do a nice big giveaway. Something that I could do to, go to a big shopping mall somewhere in Leeds and just give
away. Oh, what you mean?
Just like make it rain sort of thing.
Think of it like Make It Rain, standing on top of one of the large buildings in Leeds and just making it rain somebody. And then I would, if we're sticking to the 10%, I'd put $1 million on red just to see what happens.
Just for the cash.
Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully I'd lose it, but if I knew I was getting 100
there's flaws there. There's a lot of ways you could actually, like in Bruce's Millions, make more money by doing this strategy. I think it's a risky strategy, is that. I like your balls though, Martin. You've got balls, and I like that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, no. It's a very conservative way of spending. I was expecting, just prostitutes, cigars, the like. But I don't know you, Martin. So I apologise for making any assumptions.
That's how I normally spend my money anyway. So I think it's different when I get
a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough. It would be a bit like spending your Christmas money on the shopping or something, I guess.
It just go in the wallet, get mixed in with all the other millions. I think I'll do something different with this.
Yeah. And, there's nothing worse when you get your millions mixed up. I mean, yeah. Anyway. Oh well. Thanks for that. We appreciate the input we get from our listeners.
I think it's quite telling in terms of how people would go about spending that amount of money. Sounds like a bit of a giving person. You're going to be giving some of that just away. And you did stay away from the hookers and cigars, which is, my hat is off to you, sir.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, tip of the cap.
Tip of the cap to you, sir.
Okay, so you're not going to get away that quickly, Martin, because as per our previous episodes, I've got a little game of my own creation for you to play. And this time it's called Playing Top Trumps with Donald Trump. Playing Top Trumps with Donald.
Morrissey, channeling your inner Morrissey there, mate.
Yeah, a bit of Morrissey there. So anyway, yeah. So the story behind this game is basically, in an act of spite, Morrissey is sewing chicken nuggets into Donald Trump's favourite suit jacket. Donald doesn't know who is responsible, but he has reason to believe it might be either you or Adam. And he's basically got you both captive in Trump Towers. To decide who to lay blame on, he's making you play a game of Top Trumps, which features millionaires from TV and a few actual wealthy folk from history. So basically, whoever loses is going to take the blame, their fate being that they'll be extradited and forced to live on an iceberg or something shit like that, basically.
Damn you, Trump.
So
Donald Trump.
Classic Trump. Yeah. So basically, yeah, it's, I'm sure you both have played Top Trumps before. It's going to be a slightly different in that, it's not about trying to win all the cards or what have you. It's we'll play 10 rounds, and whoever wins round one, we'll go first round two, and it's on a points thing.
I'm trying to remember the rules to Top Trump, so I've played it before. But...
Oh yes. Martin, do you know how to play?
Yeah, I played. I was a wee lad the last time I played, but yes, I've played before.
Oh, it's a classic. Okay, so what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to flip a coin, and that'll decide who goes first. It's all
right. I trust that you're actually flipping a coin and you're not just.
I do actually. Adam,
I am looking at the coin now. I can see it. I'm looking at the Queen's face.
Yes, it's a 10p piece to be specific. So I tell you what, Martin, do you want to choose heads or tails?
Sure, go heads, please.
Heads. Oh, it's tails.
Unlucky.
Harsh.
So much for a double-headed coin. I thought two-face was right. Well.
Okay, Adam, so you get to go first. So, round one.
Okay, so round one we've got Henry Hill from Goodfellas. So Ray Liotta's character out of Goodfellas. Now, I'm going to go for his ability to handle drugs, so drug tolerance. I'm going to slam that down in front of you.
Oh, okay, yeah. Get to the point and quickly. What is it? Drug tolerance?
Oh, right. Oh, shit. Right, okay. 100. That is 100 out of 100. It's pretty big. Seen the movie, does a lot of coke.
I'm trying to look, so I am going to go with...
You've got to pick the one that's for round one. You can't choose.
Goodness, I've got King Jaffe.
Oh yes,
I'm pronouncing that right? Oh, yeah. So drug tolerance is 40.
Yeah,
not high on the drug.
Yeah.
So 1 point to Adam. Yeah. So King Jaffe from Coming to America, starring Eddie Murphy.
James Earl Jones.
Yeah. James Earl Jones.
Love that movie. Absolutely love that film.
Eek, so not the best start, Martin. I'm sorry for this. So Adam, you get to go first again. So round one.
Okay. So round two, we've got Richie Rich this time. So Macaulay Culkin. I'm going to go for sexual aggression, which apparently is an incredibly high 80.
Oof.
For Richie Rich.
For Richie Rich. He was a predator.
Yeah, it wasn't explored too much in the film, but there was underlying tones, particularly the sort of the relationship with his mother. But anyway,
if you see the Blu-ray edition, there's some telling scenes.
Well, I get beaten again, but I don't believe it. I would call an inquiry. Gordon Gekko, I have.
Yeah.
Sexual aggression 70.
Oh dear.
And Gecko was he was a deviant. So, but not as much as Steven as Richie Rich, apparently.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so 2-0 to Adam. So on to round 3. I tell you what, if Adam gets 3 in a row here, it then turns to you to go first.
Yeah.
I think that's only fair.
Am I able to use the same category?
You can pick from whatever you want. Yeah.
Oh, this is easy.
Okay.
So we've got Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. I'm going again. Sexual aggression, 100. I'm going big time.
God. So I have Edward Lewis from Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
Sexual aggression, 40.
Ooh.
Not very aggressive, no.
That's pretty low, considering he's a bit partial to the old ladies of the night.
But it's difficult to beat Bateman at sexual aggression.
See, I believe that one. Richie Rich, not so much. I'd have to see it. I didn't see the Behind Closed Doors documentary, though. I mean, I don't know if that yet.
He's a young Bateman in the making.
Yeah.
So this is my go first now.
Yeah. So 3 points, so swaps over. So round 4.
Round 4. Okay, so I've got Scrooge McDuck from DuckTales, 87 to 90. I'm going to go with Sizer Balls, 90.
Oh, would have been good if I didn't have Jordan Belfort from Wolf of Wall Street. He's got some big cojones, big meaty clackers at 95. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Suck on them, Martin. Suck on them.
I am so sorry. Do you know? I did actually kind of shuffle these in a way. So I apologise that this is going completely in Adam's favour. This is unheard of.
Massacre.
Yeah. Well, maybe you can redeem yourself this time. So round 5.
So still might go first. Let's have a look. Okay, I'm going to go with Drug Tolerance. It's worked well for Adam in the past.
Who is it though? You got to introduce the character.
From Lewis Winthorpe III, Trading Places.
Yes.
So by Dan Aykroyd. So I've got Drug Tolerance at 70.
Oh, interesting. I've got Harold Shand from The Long Good Friday, and that's also 70.
Oh,
it's a draw.
Well, actually, the rules of Top Trumps is the person who went, even if they're tied, they still get the point.
What? This is bullshit.
No, I'm afraid
bullshit.
that's
I'll take that. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant. So 1 point. So that's 1-4 to Adam at the moment. So round 6.
So I'm Sam the Ace Rothstein from Casino.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Greed, straight up Greed.
Yep.
He's on 90.
Ooh.
Oh, you got me there as well. I had Ron Camp, the millionaire guy out of Ace Ventura, only had 70. 70 for Greed. So you've got me there.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Did it switch back to Adam now? Is that?
Yes, let's switch back to Ad Rock.
Adam to serve.
Yes, Adam to serve. So round 7.
Round 7. Okay, I've got Maud Lebowski from The Big Lebowski. She enjoys painting vaginas, according to her bio. Now I'm going to go for Size of Balls, which I agree to. This is, she's got pretty big balls again, 90.
Yes.
Big balls for a woman.
Big hairy balls.
Well, I have Montgomery Brewster, Size of Balls, only 60.
Oh. Not so big a cojones.
Richard Pryor.
Yes. Unfortunate
Small
there,
balls
unfortunate. So on to round 8. Sorry, I don't know why I did that. Round 8.
Oh, I've got this time Ginger McKenna out of Casino. Now I'm going to go for self-destructiveness. That's 90. Oh, I fall into a trap. Self-destructiveness. The lowest score actually wins.
Yeah.
So you don't know who I've got yet, though, Adam.
You know what? I'm sticking with it.
Ironic.
It's like in
that
chess.
was very ironic.
It's like in chess. My hand has been taken off the piece.
Yeah. So the lowest score wins for self-destructiveness. So
90.
Ginger McKenna at 90. So Martin, what have you got to combat that?
So I have the namesake right here, Donald Trump. Self-destructiveness. A low 55.
Ooh.
What?
The Trump card.
Top Trumps, they don't call it that for a reason.
Yes. Did you like what I did there? Anyway.
Let's move on.
So, round 9.
Round 9, right. So I've got this time Randolph and Mortimer Duke from Trading Places.
Devious old bastards.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna play it dangerous here. I've got a category that's really high, but we've not had any bullshit yet. So I'm gonna go for bullshit, which is a pretty strong 75.
So I have Monte Capelti from Easy Money.
Yeah.
And I have got what was it? Bullshit is 85.
Oh.
Isn't it? Oh, what's the score so far, Johnny? What is the score?
Oh, well, the scores on the board so far is Adam has a very conservative 5, and Martin, you've got a slightly less 4. So
I believe it play switches back to me this time, yeah?
To be honest, I'm not sure. I've completely lost track.
We'll just say,
yeah, okay. Yeah, whatever. So if you get, so you can play this to either draw or lose.
I've got probably the perfect one this time. So I have Pablo Escobar, the king of cocaine, for round 10. And I'm going to go straight with drug tolerance just because it's Pablo Escobar, 100.
Oh. Well, I've got Queen Elizabeth II, who, according to her bio, will fuck you up if necessary.
Yep, she will.
She will kill you and make it like an accident, legend.
Yes.
And drug tolerance just behind with 90, because she can handle her shit.
Yeah, I mean, maybe back in the 60s it would have been a bit higher, but she's knocking on a little bit.
Probably more medication now that she has a tolerance for, but only 90.
So wow, so that's a tie. That's calling it a tie.
Yeah.
I'll take a tie. I will take a tie. That's fine.
Although that's kind of unfortunate in a way, because what that means is you're both going to get extradited to the iceberg.
At least we've got company on the iceberg.
Yeah, at least you're not on your own, I guess.
Can we not make a deal? Can Adam get extradited and I'll just go help build the wall to Mexico? I'll have to do that.
We're going to build the wall. It's going to happen.
I'll let you guys work that out between you. So it's not my call. So anyway, so that's been Donald Trump's top trumps, and I hope you've enjoyed yourselves.
Me and Martin are going to go and spoon on an iceberg.
Yes.
I'll let you be the big spoon this time, Martin.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Brilliant. So yeah, well that's all we've got time for this section, and you've been a great contestant. You have, Martin, and we hope you've enjoyed being on the show.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for playing with us.
Do you have anything you wish to add, or are you ready to leave us alone now? Or?
No, I kind of want to go play some top trumps now. I'm not going to lie.
Yes. Yeah.
Does it get a prize or anything? We usually get a.
We usually have a bit of a giveaway, don't we?
Yeah.
Last month it was a Happy Meal. Is that not?
You what? Sorry.
Last month it was a Happy Meal. Surely I get a Happy Meal.
No. We need to mix things up a little bit.
You get.
I've got an alkaline Panasonic battery.
Yeah.
What size battery is it?
Oh, it's one of those square ones.
One of the square ones.
You get a 2-pack of those. Not 2-pack Shakur.
It's a
2-pack of batteries.
9 volt.
Yeah. And you also get a bottle opener that says Alexander Wines on it.
Yeah, so a free plug there for both Panasonic batteries and Alexander Wines.
So, yes.
I love the well thought out gifts. It's not as if you just looked around the studio going,
no. Come on, give us some credit.
A lot of work goes into this with professionals.
Yes, yeah. A lot of thought goes into our prizes. We respect that. People take time to come onto this. The least we can do is at least think about what we would give them. So yeah. Anyway, we'll see you another time, perhaps, or hear you another time. Yes.
Thanks, Martin. Thanks for playing, pal.
Yep.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Adios. Okay.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
So that brings us round to our second film choice, which is a recent release. We recently had a trip to the cinema to see Jodie Foster's new film, Money Monster.
Money Monster. And just before you carry on, just in case there's any misconceptions here, this film isn't about a fuzzy yellow monster with a sugar addiction.
No. That's the Honey Monster.
Yeah, this is Money Monster.
Although we are long overdue for the film version of the Honey Monster's life.
Yes,
including his addiction to
the fall and rise of the Honey Monster.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But we'll
in fact, do you think he'll be the next one to go in 2016?
Potentially.
The next, big star.
I think we could get this movie off the ground. I think we should start like a Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah. What kind of preempting movie. The demise of Honey Monster?
There's money to be made in this. There's money to be made in honey.
There's money in honey.
Money in honey, baby. But Money Monster, no connection to the Honey Monster.
Yep.
Starring George Clooney, Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts, yes.
And Jack O'Connell.
Yes.
A British actor. I think he's from Derby. I think it's not too far away from us in the north of England.
Yes.
But
I did not know that.
And Dominic West as well. Dominic
course.
West, who plays a very sleazy dude.
Walt Canby.
Exactly. But the basic premise of the film, essentially, it's almost a bit of a kind of. George Clooney's doing a bit of a parody of Jim Cramer, Mad Money, which is an American TV show that's it's kind of a little bit sort of trashy, but monitoring stock markets and offering advice on investments and things like that. So George Clooney plays a host. His character is Lee Gates. Almost a bit of a kind of get this feeling like it's a bit of a discredited kind of Wall Street. Hack really a little bit now, but almost a little bit of a start. Yeah, well, it comes. Yeah, definitely they set his character up as a little bit of a dick, but also in terms of how he's sort of viewed within Wall Street, and he doesn't seem to have a lot of credibility. He's kind of sold out with trashy TV. He
comes on each episode a bit like Apollo Creed, doesn't he? With the sort of the top hat and gloves and we
see George Clooney awkwardly dancing to rap music. Yeah, very awkwardly dancing to it. Yeah. But anyway, so in the middle of the filming of one of the TV programs, George Clooney's character is interrupted by a delivery man, a gentleman posing as a delivery man, wandering on set. It's then revealed that Jack O'Connell, his character, is there to basically hold them hostage. Comes in with a gun, fires a gun, straps a bomb to George Clooney's chest, and then explains that because of one of his George Clooney's tips, he lost around about £60,000 on stocks that absolutely crashed.
Yeah, due to a glitch.
Due to a glitch,
which he doubts. He thinks is bullshit, doesn't he? And he's there to disprove it.
Exactly. So his plan is essentially to get to the truth, and he feels that the best way of doing that is hijacking the TV show and getting some answers.
Yeah.
And the film is quite quickly into that. It doesn't hang around.
Doesn't mess about, no.
No, it doesn't hang around. To some degree, I think that was a good thing. I think, we're straight into it. We're straight into a bit of action.
I don't think it needed to linger.
Yeah, I think there could have been a bit more, because as we go through, we want to kind of care about the characters. And I think they did probably the best they could do in the time to set and establish the characters.
Yeah, they
could
tried
have
to
maybe done a bit more.
Tell more with the characters than they all the time. To be honest with you, I enjoyed, I'd say, maybe the first half an hour, 40 minutes. I was hooked. I thought it was really good. I thought Kyle was a really intense character. Really believe. I was kind of hooked, and then. I don't know. I just kind of, after that, I felt it went a bit not very well executed and got a bit naff, really. And I thought Dominic West was just a bit... as Walt Canby.
I think the issue with Dominic West's character is that we needed to really hate him.
And it was just all a bit quick, his character, wasn't it? It was a bit like, he's been on a plane.
Exactly. For the majority of the film, we don't actually see him. We just know that he's on a plane somewhere. Avoiding everybody, and it's not until the back end that he's actually revealed, it's Dominic West, and by that stage, we should be absolutely hating this guy's guts. He's the villain of the piece, and you do to an extent, but it's kind of difficult to really, and I think that affects the payoff at the end.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I mean, I thought it was, for the most part, again, it was pretty suspenseful.
Yeah. I mean, it was a great concept. But,
I thought I had a good, there was some good gags in there. Again, it had that, it injected humour without it getting silly. It kept the tension, but also, injected some comedy in there. I think the film itself was trying to make some, pretty serious comments on, potential kind of Wall Street corruption, and capitalism as a whole, kind of, political and economical.
But then it also tried to tell a story of people changing and
I think with what the message they were trying to get across, I don't know if the type of film, the sort of hostage type action film, was the best vehicle to get that across. It was. I know. I thought, all in all, I thought it was good. Jodie Foster. One of the notes I made was first note I made was better than Jodie Foster's Beaver, which I still stick to. I don't get me wrong. I enjoyed Jodie Foster's Beaver. There's a lot to enjoy about Jodie Foster's Beaver.
I haven't encountered a beaver.
I mean, Mel Gibson was in Jodie Foster's Beaver, which was a surprise. To be fair, Jennifer Lawrence was also in Jodie Foster's Beaver, which
quite a party.
Probably wasn't
Beaver.
as much as a surprise. But yeah, no, it was. I think it was probably one of her, potentially one of the best films that she directed today. But I still think, I wasn't coming out raving. I didn't want to go get it on, Blu-ray and watch it again.
I think ultimately I was kind of a bit disappointed with what happened with Kyle's character, really, because I think he started off really strong, and I was a bit like, wow, he's quite a powerful character. He's come in, he's really like, he's irate with what happened. He's come here with a bit of purpose, and they just kind of diluted his character a bit and turned him a bit. And when his girlfriend was, his pregnant girlfriend was saying about her crying in bed.
Oh, she was a bitch.
It was
how harsh was she?
I don't know. He's got he's put himself in a predicament, and there was no sympathy, and it was just a bit daft. I thought that scene was rubbish. And then his character just kind of, for me, just dwindled and became a bit wishy-washy and weak.
Yes,
which I know he needed to do that transformation, but it just ruined it.
No, I totally think that. I think they did that because they wanted to make sure that you could sympathise with him, but there was you could
realise
sympathise.
He's just a guy who's made a bit of a brash decision to do this. But...
Yeah, but I think the fact that he made that brash decision kind of conflicts with his character as a little bit as well, because he's a smart guy. He's not an irrational guy. Is what they're trying to get across. Yeah. He's not necessarily well educated, but he's seems smart enough and intelligent enough. But yeah, so I think it kind of contradicts it a bit. But no, I thought, it was all right. But
again, good concept. Could have been executed a little bit better, but still, maybe worth a watch, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So,
shall we get on to the food?
Well, let's do it. And it's my turn to
to
come up with the first.
Hit us with your food recommendation.
Well, for this one, bit of a brief food recommendation. This one,
it's like you're returning to previous form.
Well, no, I occasionally I miss out the main course altogether, and I'm gonna go for. Straight to dessert again.
Oh, okay.
And again, we've got a theme of greed in here, so I'm thinking, and again, Dominic West's character, what can be, his motivations are all about greed. So I'm just going to go straight to dessert, and I'm going for a pretty simple dessert.
Yep.
Chocolate coins.
Chocolate coins.
Chocolate coins. Like the ones that you can get at Christmas with a foil on.
Yeah. I know them well.
You know them well. Well, this is it represents George Clooney's characters
on the wealth.
Gorging on the wealth. You see, it works on different levels as this food suggestion, because it's gorging on wealth until you feel sick and you want to vomit it back up. But then chocolate coins are quite Moorish, so you might want to go back and grab it. Yeah. Also, kind of represent.
I find I get through them quite quickly.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of represents also George Clooney's character Lee Gates's shitty stock and investment advice, because
you're going to eat your money. Your money's going to get eaten.
Your money's going to get eaten.
I get it.
Exactly. No, but you've got this like shiny thing. Oh, that looks. And then when you get to it, you unwrap it, and it's just chocolate. There's anything wrong with chocolate, but so chocolate coins.
I wonder if anyone's ever tried to replace the chocolate in a chocolate coin with something completely different, just to mess you up. Like I don't know, some sort of curry, solidified curry, mackerel patty coin.
Yeah.
Maybe you could do something like that.
Why not have savoury coins?
Yeah.
Why is that not a thing?
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, like particularly at Christmas, sometimes you don't want sweet, you want a bit of savoury. So you can hang them up on the tree, and then every time you want a piece of ham,
there's
yoink.
There's a hit of ham for you.
Exactly. And have another one that's got a bit of chutney inside, and you can dip in.
Oh well. Yeah, that evolved.
So chocolate coins is
nice, excellent. Well, I've gone a bit different. I think I was trying to think of the whole the danger of having a bomb strapped to your chest. How could you immerse in that kind of storyline, that plot, put yourself in that kind of danger? So I was thinking what you could do is order couple of pizzas to be delivered to your house, but you could ask them to specifically on one pizza make it as hot as hell, like really, really fiery hot, explosive hot, but not tell you which one it is. So they turn up, you're confronted with the two boxes, you got to pick one, and you don't know if you're going to get your regular Hawaiian safe option, or you're going to get one that's going to make your head like rupture and blow up.
It's like a Russian roulette pizza.
It is.
That'll be a good name.
It's dangerous eating. Yeah. Yeah. And also you could also ask them as well. You could order a couple of cans of your favourite pop. Coke, Lilt, whatever you drink, or your favourite lager, and you could ask them again specifically to shake up one of those cans prior to delivering it. And again, it's Russian roulette. You don't know if it's going to fizz everywhere and explode
right in your face,
all over yourself.
Face, neck, and chest.
Yes, and it's adding that danger. It's like, I've got a bomb here, or have I? Is it a bomb?
That's exciting. Exciting eating.
It is.
It's
what I'm all about.
Well, Saturday night.
It's what I'm all about.
Could I be having a relatively boring Saturday night in?
Yeah.
With a film and a pizza, which is nice.
Add some danger.
A bit of excitement.
Add some danger.
Yeah,
it's like, if you have a cheese and ham toastie, eat it as soon as it comes out of that toastie maker where it's really hot liquid cheese.
Yeah.
You'll feel, you'd probably feel pain, but, it adds a bit of danger.
It does. It does. And let's face it is better piping hot. If you can handle the heat, it's always better piping hot.
Yeah. Put a bit of Tabasco sauce on your shredded wheat.
Throw a few jalapenos in your soup.
Ooh, what, like a mushroom soup or
just like
a few
tin chicken soup? Just like, this is boring. Boom, jalapenos.
Do it. Play with fire.
Literally.
So that about wraps up for that one. So you can have yourself some chocolate coins and literally eat your money, or have your money eaten. Or you can dice with death with a explosive fiery pizza delivery and an explosive can. So shall we move on?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're here again at this part of the podcast where we've got Pablo joining us for another film not to eat food by. So Pablo, are you there?
Indeed, I am, gents. How are you doing?
Not too shabby yourself.
Was that shabby or shammy?
Shabby.
Shabby. I'm not too shabby myself, but I say shammy purely on the fact from our conversations last episode. I've been working on a way of maybe there was talk of flesh suits and skinnings and whatnot, and I thought I'm not necessarily making the most out of the what can I say, the
hide
remainders of some of my
the
hobby.
Offcuts.
Yeah, offcuts. Slices, bits and pieces here. I know Ed Gain, he was a big one for making like seats out of rib cages and things like that.
It was very creative.
It was very creative in that way. I mean, I'm starting slow, so the reason I got confused there is because I've started trying to make some nice human leather chamois.
Oh, I'm with you.
You know,
Right.
it's kind of like your plush, I don't know, carb buffer.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
you know.
exactly which part of the anatomy would be used for the chamois?
Well, that's what I'm experimenting with at the minute. You know, I thought I would potentially try and double-purpose pubic regions and regions with hair, because if you go with, say, a pubic area, you've got the smooth chamois for one side, and then you've got your coarse wire wool on the other, which you can use to kind of get out for like bird poo and things like that, and then flip it over for the shine.
If you've got any left, you can make like a nice little coin purse or something like that.
Well, that's it. The only problem I'm finding is the process of I don't know what you would call it, the tanning of the hide, so to speak. Yeah. Often ends up with a burning of the hair. So it's it's a work in progress at the minute. I'm going to try and double tanning. Yeah, we'll see.
Will these be available on your eBay store quite soon? Or?
Well, it depends. How familiar are you with the dark web? I was going to say it's, I'm all about bitcoins and dark webs. Not any of that dodgy business. I'm talking purely.
Yeah. Well, no, I get that, and also, I don't often buy things from eBay anymore because I've been done over too many times where it looks like this and then you get something completely different. So I think if you're offering someone a muff, chamois, you want it to be exactly what it says on the tin.
Well, that's it. And the one thing that I will say is that I can go to order. So I'm trying to think of maybe possibly working as a kind of half assassin, half haberdasher type thing. Yeah, I can. You're fancying some sort of human skin-based product, and you want somebody knocked off at the same time. Maybe a 2-for-1 deal.
You're the man for that.
It's a bespoke service. Yeah.
I like it. I like that. Very entrepreneurial.
Yeah. And I'd like to clarify, this is all alleged, possibly fantasy. I'm working on that old German fella who barbecued his friends. That was all above board and legal, aside from when the guy died. That's when it became ropey.
Right, okay.
Fair play.
Because as we all know, cannibalism's legal if it's bequeathed in a will.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Right.
Legalities of cannibalism.
And you can, if you can find a willing butcher, which I believe as we've discussed in the past, may be an issue.
Yeah. I just feel at this point, just in case no one's listened to this podcast before, and not sure exactly what we're talking about here. Basically, Pablo. He's going to recommend. We're going to talk about a film, perhaps not to eat food by because it's pretty nasty, gory, and also, as you might be gauging from this conversation, Pablo has a few tendencies towards certain practices,
activities.
Yes, of the. Well, how would you describe your work, Pablo?
Well, all I would say is everything Mary Whitehouse said could happen. When you watch certain things, I am essentially the exemplification of that. Don't watch this because this might happen. Yeah, I did, and it has. But I like to maybe think of myself as in an anti-censorship way. I may be the exception to the rule.
Right.
But equally, just a little bit of hunting humans. As I say, fashioning items. I'm trying to find a kind of much like Dexter, try and find a positive spin on my kind of possibly seen as nefarious peccadillos.
Yes. And as you've stated before, it's just the dirge of society that you're going after. So not the good folk. It's more the
skunk pussy.
The skunk pussies. I'm talking the kind of taxi driver.
Toxic Avenger.
Yeah. Punisher type of thing.
Exactly. You just Frank Castle, basically.
So, moving on. You've got another film not to eat food by. Do you want to bring it to the table, Pablo?
If you're gonna spew into this.
Indeed, I shall. Well, recently I watched the 1989 film Society, which I believe is on topic for today's venture.
Yes, money, high society.
Essentially, it's possibly stars the best named actor who I think may have ended up on Baywatch at some point, but essentially he's the only person in this entire film who I vaguely recognised. Everybody else seems to have disappeared into whatever
vortex of
just in unpopularity, no neighbourness. But his name is Billy Warlock.
Billy Warlock. That's a great name.
It is, and you wouldn't think, warlocks as you would traditionally go with. You might have a Lothar or some sort of powerful magicianal type name. But Billy, I wouldn't have necessarily gone with Billy.
Yeah, it's a bit light, isn't it? You said you would want something with a bit of girth.
And to extend the suspension of disbelief, his character is called Billy Whitney. So
Billy Whitney.
We're working on a level of acting here where the actor may get confused if he was addressed by a different name during filming. So they've gone with going with his own name just so they can get natural.
So we're dealing with that sort of
bit of naturalism. You could say naturalism.
Although Jack Nicholson has a habit of being called Jack in most of his films.
There's a few,
there's quite a few. There's Batman. I'm sure there's others, but
what would Batman? So
it's called Jack Napier in Batman when he plays the Joker.
Oh, I thought you meant someone whoever was playing Batman would also happen to be called Batman in real life.
Jack Nicholson. Most of his characters are called Jack.
All right, yeah.
Batman.
Okay.
I'm Batman.
So anyway, we're digressing is the word I meant to say.
Well, let me start this review with a question. This is a question, a direct question from the film. How would you like your tea? Cream, sugar, or do you want me to pee in it?
Do you need to ask?
That is a tough one. That is a tough one. I have had that before. The Starbucks in Keighley. I got asked that once.
They are expanding.
I wasn't sure what to say at the time either. I think I just bolted.
I would
out
imagine
there.
the way you poorly mistreat service staff, from what I've heard, I would assume that you would often get pee in it without necessarily getting the option of requesting it. I would have thought it would just be a byproduct of the old peeing in the cup whilst he's not looking.
I kind of feel if it's offered in that way as well, it's kind of rude to turn it down. Yeah. Because they're putting themselves out there, to...
Yeah, they're putting themselves into their work.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Well, this is put in it. It's a vaguely post-coital moment. So basically the question is received in a very nonchalant way, not as you would expect somebody asking such a question. I'd be a bit put off, a little bit confused by it, but it's shot down quite quickly, and then they move on. But essentially, Society. It's Billy Warlock, or Billy Whitney, as I say, is in this film. He's a boy of about 17. He'll be 18 soon enough. Lives very well. He's got a big house in Beverly Hills. He's got a very well-to-do family. He's head of sports teams. He's running for class president. All this sort of stuff. But he's always felt slightly amiss in his situation, as if he's not welcome there. He's different from everybody else.
Poor Bill.
And this comes to pass when his slightly older sister has a coming out party, which I'd heard of it before, but it's a kind of thing they do in class societies where when a girl comes of a certain age, they have a big party and kind of show her off a bit in a dress, and it's all very well-to-do. There's nothing nefarious or weird or kinky about it. But in this situation, apparently there's talk of possibly some sort of incestuous thing going on, some sort of whoring out of the daughter, which he is completely complicit in, and this blows poor Billy's mind. He doesn't know what's going on. And it all kind of goes from there. It basically, there's a subset of human beings who are basically a group of individuals who can also amorphize into kind of blob of undulating flesh that can also then eat normal humans by absorbing them into this undulating flesh pile. It's very peculiar, and to be fair, it's a bit slow going. A lot of the fun, if you're just in it for the weird kind of peculiarities of the, if I can get the specific name, this is how it's credited in the credits. Surrealistic effects were done by Screaming Mad George.
Oh,
so if you want to get
very appropriate.
If you want to get straight to the surrealistic effects, not special effects, surrealistic. You need to go probably to the last 30 minutes of the film, and that's where it all goes crazy. You've got people with heads coming out the bottoms. You've got a hand-head thing where a man is just a man, and then he turns around, turns back again, and he's got a hand where his head was.
Oh, okay.
Which strangely foreshadows a scene later on in the film, but I don't know if that's intentional, where somebody puts their hand up inside somebody and pulls them inside out by putting their fingers through their eye sockets from the inside out.
Oh, a bit like a hand puppet that they then extract the insides of. Or...
Yeah, like say somebody like a puppeteer got a little bit overexcited with a puppet and just went a bit too far, and next thing you know is it's all inside out, and
So a bit like whoever usually does sooty or sweep accidentally picks up a puppy that's passing by and makes a bit of a mistake and forces himself in this puppy that then
which can probably has happened.
Yeah, probably happened. I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the day Nina Conti lost her mind. She just decides picks up some random diminutive chap as he passes, and next thing she knows, she's in some sort of protective ward for her own and other people's safety. But yeah, it's an interesting one, and it has the ending. I haven't researched this. I don't believe there is a Society 2, but the way it's left, it does seem wanting for a Society 2, and I don't know if anybody actually wins or loses. It seems the status quo would pretty much remain. It's just this one guy may or may not, spoilers, get away with it or get away from the thing. But yeah, I mean it's all fun. His best friend infiltrates this weird, pardon my language, but it's basically a fucked up fuck party.
Okay.
with a bleeped out bleep party. With everybody undulating, he's managed to get a policeman's clothing so he can sneak in unawares, but he's wandering about, and all this is going on. I'm talking undulating, symbiotic flesh things going on, and he doesn't seem phased one little bit.
Oh, right, he's fair enough.
But then he blows his cover when his friend's getting beaten up, so you'd think maybe, somebody getting punched in the face might shock you a bit, but... three people becoming one blob of undulating flesh that's just absorbed somebody. Not even an eyelid batted.
Fair play.
But
so what would you rate it on a gore factor? Is it particularly gory then? I mean, it sounds pretty bizarre.
Yeah. How many arse heads would you give it?
Well, it would fall kind of like it's in your kind of a body horror type of thing. Done much better in say Videodrome by Cronenberg. But yes, I'll probably give this. Let me think. I'd probably give this 2 human flesh puppets out of 5.
2? Oh, okay. 2 human flesh puppets out of 5.
Yeah, I mean, it's
yeah, not the highest, but okay.
There are better films out there with a better quotient of gore. I mean, there are worse films out there with a better quotient of gore as well, and I'd possibly maybe go higher on them with this. But it's a story that ticks along relatively nicely. It's a nice little metaphor about society and everything about the different class, and there's a lot of subtext early on where they're referring to how you've got to become a part of society. If you don't become a part of society, you'll be cast out.
Nothing. Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I when you mentioned you were doing it, I did have a quick peek on YouTube just to have a bit of a look, and yes, is all I can say. Yes, just like that. I've gone all Sean Connery. Yes. But yeah, it was bizarre. But yeah, no. Well, thanks for sharing that one. Definitely not one to eat by. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, if you're going to eat anything, I suppose class-wise, it would be, I don't know, caviar, but you'd have to use some sort of...
Eat it out of someone's arsehole?
Yeah, probably, yeah. caviar eaten out of a rich man's arsehole.
Which is the only way to eat caviar.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you basically, in order to do that and indulge it, you've got to be a certain type of person. So yeah, if you're a certain type of person, you'd be able to eat by this film even, but otherwise, don't bother.
Well, that's it. I'd probably say maybe it's a good gauge to kind of mark where you stand in society if you were able to facilitate the eating of caviar out of a rich man's anus just to watch a film. If you can get that done, then you're probably quite high up in the echelons of society. If you can't, then this film's not for you. This film's not for you.
Yeah. No, fair play. Yeah.
I know that's what I did. I had Richard Branson over, poured a big, barrel of the beluga caviar all over him. Tasty delish.
Yeah. Did he seem plussed by that? Was he all right with that? Did he mind?
Well, he always looks a bit smug, so I couldn't really tell.
He knew what he was getting into.
Yeah, he was pleased with himself. Right now, he's just doing it for, I don't know, caviar shits and giggles, I suppose.
We won't pursue that any further as to what happened next with that.
Gave me loads of discontinued virgin cola to drink it all down with, so that was not bad.
Oh yeah, virgin cola.
Salt follows sweet. Salt follows stank follows sweet.
Yeah, excellent, brilliant. Well, yeah.
Oh, that is one thing that they actually call the process of where they all come together and eat people. Call it the shunt or shunting.
Okay.
One the kind of lead mutant man character has a line of "I do love the smell of the hunt and the taste of the shunt."
Ooh, that's a good catchphrase.
Which, to be honest, I had to rewind a couple of times just to make sure he said shunt.
Okay. So a word of warning for our listeners: if you ever get invited to a shunt or to shunt, maybe proceed with caution. Just in case you're not prepared to eat caviar out of a man's arse.
But if that's what you're into, then go for it.
Go for that shunt.
Yeah. And I would say as a recommendation for an alternative kind of, obviously I've already mentioned Videodrome. If you haven't seen that already, I recommend that highly. But maybe something of the same kind of time period, which has got the same kind of silly feel, but is a lot more constant on the kind of body horror and shocks, is Basket Case 2.
Okay.
Basket Case, bit of a B-movie classic. Basket Case 2 often missed out, but it's basically the whole kind of... having a Siamese twin that's horribly deformed is then transported over to a point where you've got an entire house full of people with deformities who have been shunned by society and a possible murderous intent therein. So it's a very, very good one. Yeah. And if you want to buy any pubic shams, that's what I'm working on as a working title for the pubic chummy leather things. Pubic shams. Just find me on the darknet. Darknet Pubishams 16562-854444 Pubishams. Okay by me forever.
You heard it here first, folks. So that's Pubishams.
Chuck a few backslashes in there as well. That'll probably not quite sure. I just sell them on there. I never visit my own page.
Fantastic. Well, no, it's good to hear that you're progressing with your business, and I admire you for that. And
just say it's completely unrelated topic, but I'm just doing a bit of a survey for Men's Health magazine.
Okay.
So, Johnny, could I ask, do you opt for, how do I say, more of a Brazilian approach to personal hygiene, or are we talking 70s style Leo Sayer?
Are you talking how I treat myself? Like, do I groom?
Well, no, I'm just saying that, when supplies are down, I'm just, there's easy
trying to size us up for, to add to your inventory.
I'm just saying that when pubic shams blow up, I don't want to be one of those chumps who walks into the Dragon's Den and they ask me, I want 5,000 by tomorrow, can you get me them? No, I need to have some sort of backlog. So it's. No, it's all right. I know it's a private kind of.
I must admit, I'm not entirely sure what you're asking us to do. For a second, I thought you meant you wanted us to be models on the, like when they sometimes get models into, sport, whatever it is. But this is a bit different, though. We're not actually.
No, it's more if somebody's kind of pre-treated the area, it's not really any good for me. So I'm just kind of like, if people kind of keep the downstairs free and plentiful, I'm talking like bonsai garden style. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm just trying to see maybe,
I'm like a ginger teen wolf, so it's I don't know if that appeals or repels.
Well, that's kind of the chamois. Chamois is a kind of gingery once it's all dry. Well, leave that with me. And
you wouldn't want my member for that. I don't think mine would be good enough for a chamois.
For God's sake, Johnny, get your mind out the gutter. There's nothing about members. It's merely the pubic area above
the area around.
Does this include the gooch, or are we including the gooch?
I'm just trying to throw you off the scent, to be honest.
I think it would generally be considered. I know in the female world it would be, say, a lady garden. But I don't know, a chap's allotment. Lady garden, chap's allotment. But well, just research. As I say, just research.
Yes. Okay. Well, thanks for that. Feel a little bit weirded out, but fair play. Thanks for. I don't know what I'm thanking you for. Actually,
thank you for considering our balls. I suppose.
Hey, no one said anything about balls.
Adam,
you've done it again.
From the mouths of babes, I'm talking now. Ball sack coin purses.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, right.
It's the future.
The shapes there
Money
already.
bags,
very
money
little
bags.
need to be done. It's a winning idea.
Yes.
Well, check back next month. We'll see how we're going.
Excellent.
If I've got time for you, I might be jetting off on my old private jet with me mate Richard, getting the beluga caviar in.
Yeah. Well, that sounds fantastic. So, we'll catch you again next month then.
Okay, thanks, chaps.
Yes.
Thanks, Pablo. Thanks for coming.
Arrivederci. Bye-bye.
See ya. Be safe.
Well, now that just about brings episode 6 to a close. And just before we headed off at the pass, as it were, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Borderline, but yeah.
Anyway, before we summarise this money-themed episode of Food to Watch Films By, we've just got a couple of listener recommendations to read out. The first one is from Adam, not you.
Not me.
Not you.
This is another Adam.
Oh, this is another Adam. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, just making sure you weren't we're not that sad that we
emailing ourselves. So
Adam from Kings Lynn in Norfolk. That's a bit weird because we're drinking Norfolk beer anyway.
Yeah, Norfolk beer in our systems.
Yeah, so he said he recently watched John Carpenter's The Fog, and his recommendation, which is a bit, he says any restaurant that could take him away from the film because he didn't enjoy it. Ouch.
Ooh,
that's a bit
harsh, is that, Adam?
A bit strong, a bit choice.
You see, I like The Fog.
It's a good film. Good
I like
horror.
most John Carpenter stuff, to be fair, but The Fog it's a bit of a cult classic, isn't it?
You might be onto an idea there, though. Maybe that could be a new business venture idea for a restaurant. One that they kidnap you and you wake up in a restaurant with a plate of food in front of you.
Yeah.
Some sort of weird experience.
Or just send you out really shit films. Like slogan is something like,
once you've watched this, come find us.
Yeah, exactly. Because anything is better than this shit. Yeah. Sending out copies of Burlesque or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Okay. There's another one. Do you want to read this one?
Yeah, we've got Steve from York. Steve has recently watched The Jungle Book. Not the remake, not the new live-action Jungle Book.
Okay.
The old Disney cartoon. And Steve has suggested bananas.
Bananas.
Because
I suppose there are some bananas consumed
in the jungle. Film. Not gonna lie, Steve, a bit of a lazy effort, but but we appreciate it nonetheless.
Fair enough.
It's I suppose he also mentions chocolate cake and ice cream as well, but mainly bananas.
Maybe he's trying to relive some sort of childhood thing.
Yeah. I mean, we can probably analyse it a fair bit, but I suspect he was probably eating chocolate cake and ice cream.
And the Jungle Book was on.
And they were eating bananas in the Jungle Book. And there we go. But again, we appreciate the input, so thank you very much, Steve.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. If you, as a listener, would like to message us to provide your own food and film recommendations, or you just want to provide us with some feedback, ask us anything, give us a top 5 if you listened to Adam's top 5 earlier and you thought what a heap of crap, I think I can do better than that, then by all means message us. You can reach us at Twitter. Our Twitter handle is at FTWFB podcast. We've also got a Facebook page you can reach us at, and an email address that I can never remember, so don't bother with that. And who emails anymore anyway?
It's going out. You may as well just send a carrier pigeon, really.
Yeah. But no, we appreciate it. And just we had a new listener recently. I apologise if I pronounce this wrong. Eoin, E-O-I-N, who recently messaged just to say that they thoroughly enjoyed the podcast and have now got Toxic Avenger on their watch list. So I'm assuming they listened to our monster themed one, episode 4. So that's nice.
Yeah, it's nice to know that we're
that we're loved.
Yeah, we're touching people,
and we love you back.
Yeah, absolutely
reciprocated.
Yeah,
we're like the French. Anyway, so that's all, folks, for episode 6.
Yeah,
and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.